You're watching News Mongolia on MNB World. I'm your host, Susanna Oktay. Good evening. For our top stories, the latest updates on COVID-19 status in Mongolia. Scientific conference on the historical development of the Mongolian Armed Forces was held. Introducing RPA to the delivery of public services. For other news, stay tuned. The Ministry of Health and the National Center for Communicable Diseases held its daily press briefing to provide the latest updates on COVID-19 status in Mongolia.
127 new COVID-19 cases have been confirmed in the past 24 hours after 11,183 people were tested nationwide, and the country's total number of cases has reached 4,210. All but one of the new cases were confirmed in Ulaanbaatar. One case was confirmed in Arkhanga province from a person who had traveled to the province from Ulaanbaatar. This makes Ulaanbaatar's total number of cases 3,329, and the number of cases in the provinces is now 349. No new imported cases have been reported. The 127 new cases include 123 close contacts of known patients, and contact tracing is now underway for the remaining 4 cases to find the source of infection. The 4 patients reside in the 26th and 27th Khoros of Bayanzurh district and in the 11th Khoro of Bayangol district. 52 new patients have recovered, and the total number of recoveries is now 3,083, making up 73% of total cases. Out of the 1,014 patients who are currently undergoing treatment, 3 are in critical condition.
This year marks the 100th anniversary of the Mongolian Armed Forces. On the occasion of Mongolian Soldiers' Day and the 100th anniversary of the establishment of the modern Mongolian Armed Forces, the Ministry of Defense, General Staff of the Armed Forces, National Defense University and Defense Research Institute organized a scientific conference on the historical development of the Mongolian Armed Forces 1921 to 2021. In March 1921, during the early stages of the Mongolian Revolution, a Mongolian partisan army led by Commander Sukhbatr Demdeng launched an offensive against the Chinese garrison at Kyakhta Maimancheng, today's Altanbulag, in Sileng province. The offensive followed a failed attempt by the Mongolian People's Party's Central Committee to reach an ultimatum with the Chinese troops on their exit from Mongolia. Despite Sukhbatr's 400-man army being heavily outnumbered by the Chinese, he led his troops to victory in taking the town. This event is considered to be the day that gave birth to the modern Mongolian Armed Forces and the Mongolian People's Army.
We are organizing this conference for the 14th year. We need to know what stages of development the armed forces have gone through in 100 years. It's a conference that summarizes the results of historical records and other research on the role of the armed forces in the country's defense. We will compile the results of this meeting. This compilation will be unique in that it will be published before Mongolian Soldiers' Day.
The purpose of the scientific conference is to summarize 100 years of the development, achievements, and successes of the Mongolian Armed Forces. Conference attendees exchanged views on the issues facing the Mongolian Armed Forces and how to cooperate in the implementation of future measures based on military science and the introduction of the theory and practice covered during the conference. Researchers say that the main goal of this year's conference was to analyze the 100-year history of the Mongolian Armed Forces, current conditions, and to determine future trends. The Social Insurance Authority in Arkham Province is the first organization in Mongolia to implement RPA, or robotic process automation, in the delivery of public services. By introducing this technology to their daily work, the staff can now work more efficiently and devote more time to other high-value work.
This was also important for helping customers receive social insurance services without long wait times. So what is RPA? This is software based on artificial intelligence. RPA helps people or organizations handle high-volume, repetitive tasks that previously required human operations.
It's a very straightforward, simple thing. RPA basically mimics or emulates a person's activity on computer. So RPA can mimic tasks on and in between different software, in-house application, website or user portal.
The Social Insurance Authority in Arkham Province provides 22 different services to about 290,000 people a year. This means that 600 to 800 people receive social insurance services every day. Before deploying RPA, the staff was overwhelmed by time-consuming and repetitive daily tasks, such as making calculations, performing transactions, helping customers, and doing data entry. Thanks to this new technology, they can now focus on more important work.
The Social Insurance Authority in Arkham Province has 2 accountants who are responsible for the Social Insurance Fund. It used to take 13 days to enter data for 28,000 transactions. Now, by using RPA, this task takes only 20 hours. The efficiency of RPA is high because it performs without any error and is 10 times faster than human entry.
Anar Bayr-Sahang, Director of Social Insurance Authority in Arkham Province, is a pioneer in introducing RPA to the public services. His initiative brought about solutions to some of the issues faced not only by government organizations in Mongolia, but also businesses. Saving time and reducing costs are the main advantages of using RPA.
And here are the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. And here's the weather forecast for the world's major cities. That's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more stories and updates. Please follow MNB World on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.